These are animal tracks. That's why it doesn't go anywhere. It's for animals to go down to the river. That's where that pheasant was going. This is for deer. There's still enough deer here to wear an actual animal track. Then there's evidence that it's not just deer. There's people coming here too. But maybe not this far. Someone's fishing spot. It's really, really weird around here. It makes you realise that when sort of madness of driving everywhere is taken away from people, they become 1,000 times more interesting. They sort of turn into pagan witches, and I mean, that's the Loddon River right there, and you can't even go up and down it anymore. The whole place has been disowned. And the waterways are what made civilization. It's bizarre to think that before the new roads, the new rivers of concrete, so that would have been the primary way, except for horse on a trail, which would need to drink from the river anyway. That would have been the way to get down to the Thames at Henley. No, there's no trace of any civilization around it at all. Coal isn't delivered anymore, it travels down that electricity wire. Here it is, right here. You walk straight out here. People going through it on bikes by the look of it, but I don't know where they go. Straight out here into some tragic housing estates dog walking space. People just walk out of their houses twice a day and do a circuit and walk straight back again. Just so a dog can relieve itself. An animal that's been trained to use the toilet at certain times of the day. It's pretty much as close to madness as you can get. It matters what kind of vehicle you drive nowadays. That's what matters. Not where you're going. Look at this, that's the loop. Let's walk round there, round here. Take the natural fertiliser from the dog, wrap it up in oil plastic, and hang it on a tree to pollute in every single way possible, and then pretend it didn't happen. It couldn't be more bonkers if you sat down and planned it. But presumably somebody did. For some reason there, I felt like they couldn't send the power over the road, even though they send it over the motorway further down. So it goes underground. Somewhere over there. It must connect up with that one somehow. Seems really weird. There's a cellular tower beating out microwave energy. No deer anymore. What's always in these tunnel things? That must be for flood water. See how unbelievably sanitised it is. It just turned a floodplain into somewhere to walk your dog. So sort of told it to you somewhere to walk the dog, but it's actually somewhere for the water to go. Of course, they built a whole load of houses over there. I mean, who would want to move here? And those are big houses too. as usual in Britain, there's just rubbish everywhere. Mostly dog poo bags. I mean, look at them. Why would you put it in a bag if you're going to throw it in the wood? If you threw it in the wood without the bag, at least it'd be fertiliser. As it is, it's just pollutant. I mean, you couldn't make up how stupid that is. So now the fertiliser just dries out of the bag and turns to nothing. The bag takes 100 years to biodegrade. Well, how long it takes? How many bags are there going to be in there in 100 years' time? Probably 10,000. Look at this. I mean, the council are putting plastic all over the ground. I mean, is that really the best material you could use? Dead animals from 65 million years ago, wrapped around a tree. It's funny that plastic is so unnatural, and yet it's supposed to be from animals. And then people who drive to work 5 days a week run up and down the road in the evenings and weekends, instead of just riding their bike to work. If you can call that running. It's just beyond madness. Unbelievable, there's a deer. You see that? How bizarre. Just to let us know that he's still here. Just came up the steps to go back, up the mound rather, and he just stuck his head around. So they still have some sort of haven over there where they're going to build the Lidl. So there's got to be more than one. See any obvious animal tracks. Of course, having dogs everywhere, they're being gradually forced out. These people just bring, I mean, the size of that dog scare the hell out of any deer. They must sleep in this bracken. That's not really bracken, is it? It's like a blossom, cherry blossom tree or something. So it is them going down to the river for water. How did it get past this fence? More council plastic. I mean, of course, the argument is, of course, that the plastic is here to protect the trees from the deer. But all these trees grew with them. The problem is, of course, they plant all these trees at the same time, which is unnatural. So it draws the deer in to see it as a food source, which they wouldn't normally see a tree as. Hey, look. Feces wrapped up in American oil plastic. And of course now it can't, if it was just dog feces, it would quite happily go down into the ground and act as fertiliser. But because they've wrapped it up in plastic first, for reasons that only they understand, it can't act as fertiliser. So there's a tree there. Perfectly happily. Doesn't need plastic around it. That's the kind of tree that's supposed to be. But it's dead. It's just a complete waste of plastic. No tree in there. But the only tree that's actually growing doesn't have any plastic around it. Oh, there's one. I think it would be easier just to start them in like a... Oh, that's where they go through. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, they go through over there. So there was some sort of civilization here before these horrible retail centres. This probably would have been part of Winnersh farm. And 100 years ago, it was probably a really lovely place. Before the Second World War, well, 150 years ago, before the World Wars destroyed everything. Took all the money over to the States, along with certain other people. Bird boxes are falling off the trees. Really is neglected, just like the rest of this country. Now the only things here are Halfords, Wicks, the pet centre for keeping all the dogs ready to chase the deer off. And holiday inns. Whichever poor people they bring in from elsewhere in the country or in the world. This godforsaken place. See how few of these trees have actually succeeded. It's about... It's different areas of soil where they see that across there they're doing pretty well. It's about one in two. Over here it's more like 1 in 5. Probably because the people planting them just didn't bother. It was probably just planted by the people making the money from those houses. Not people who understand how these things work. Tree there hasn't got a single bud on it. Those are still alive, yeah. It's not gone yet, but it's close. That's fun too. I mean, maybe it's just planted up on a hill. It's just too exposed somehow. It doesn't get that windy here. The simple truth is there's just more dogs now than civilization is able to support. And all the plastic that they use. I mean, I just don't understand why dog feces on a mud path is a crime. It wouldn't last more than a couple of days with the rainfall in this country anyway. And on concrete, I can understand it.